In this next problem, I'm asked to find the total cost of a fence built around 4 congruent circular fields, represented by the solid line here. So, similar to the track problem, I want to think of this as a bunch of separate pieces that I want to add together to get the total distance. So, to think of the separate pieces, I want to kind of start with the easiest portion first. So I can see the easiest portion first here is the straightaway, that it looks like it connects center to center for each circle here. So the tricky part is, how long is that straightaway? It's repeated 4 times, but it's important to remember that it's from center to center, which means it travels 1 radius over and then an additional radius over. So if each radii is 100 feet, then it's 100 and 100. Each straightaway is 200 feet. So that gets a big chunk of the distance around the fence needed here. But of course I still need my curved portions, which I'm going to represent in purple here. That curved portion is the length of an arc, so I want to use my arc length formula. In this case, I have a central angle of 90 degrees, so it's 90 degrees over 360, times the total circumference, which is 2 pi r, and with a radius of 100, it is 2 times pi times 100. Now, I can use that as a decimal answer when I plug it into my calculator. I get about 157.080, but think of it as a quarter of a circle, 50 pi, when 200 pi would be the total circumference. So you're able to use the 50 pi because it's not a rounded decimal. It's an exact answer. It's not that 157.08. Since it's not my final answer, I don't want to use 157.08 if I can help it. Now, next is, I have to remember that there's 4 curved portions. Each of them is 50 pi. And that makes up the entire distance around the track. I've got it typed in my calculator here. So I just hit enter to find my total distance. I'm staying pretty exact. I'm going to 3 decimal places because I'm still not at my final answer. That's good to keep as many decimal places as possible here. But they're asking me for the total cost of the fence. If it's $8.50 per foot, and there's about 1,400 feet, I just multiply that number by 850. And in my calculator, I can pull that exact answer back down, and I get an expensive fence, which is $12,140.71. Here I'm going to round to 2 decimal places because it's money, so cents are represented to the nearest hundredth. Now, one thing to keep in mind before you move on, there are shortcuts in these. Looking at this, there are 4 quarter circles basically included, and of course 4 quarter circles equals 1 full circle. So that 4 times 50 pi is really just the circumference of 1 circle when you piece it together. Also, that 90 over